As we get older, a lot of things change in ways we don't always expect. You may have noticed how some things that used to be second nature, like feeling fresh and comfortable in your own skin, aren't quite the same anymore. And it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's just part of life. But here's the thing. There's a lot we don't talk about when it comes to how our bodies change. You might think that with age comes a little bit of acceptance when it comes to how we feel about ourselves. But what if I told you that feeling fresh and confident doesn't have to fade away? That, in fact, it's actually the little things we forget about in our daily routine, those hidden areas of our body, that can make the biggest difference. It's not always the obvious things we focus on, like washing our face or brushing our teeth. There are spots on our bodies that, over time, can trap moisture and create odors we may not even notice. It's easy to overlook them, but they can really affect how we feel and how others perceive us. But don't worry. This isn't about blaming age or feeling like something is wrong. This is about taking control of your health and your well-being. You deserve to feel confident, clean, and comfortable no matter what stage of life you're in. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through some of those spots you might be missing. These areas aren't just about hygiene. They're about dignity, self-respect, and making sure you feel your best inside and out. So if you've been feeling like something's just off, but you can't put your finger on it, don't worry. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do, and it's not as complicated as you might think. Stay with me because there's a high chance that one of these spots is the reason you're noticing changes you can't explain. Trust me, it's easier than you think to get back to feeling like yourself again. Before we dive in, please comment below with the city you live in, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more valuable insights and tips. 1. Groin area and inner thigh crease. As we age, our bodies go through a lot of changes, and one area that many people forget to pay close attention to is the groin and the inner thigh creases. It's easy to focus on the more obvious spots, your underarms, feet, or private areas, but these hidden creases can actually become problem spots. 2. The groin and inner thigh creases trap a lot of moisture. They're warm, they're tight, and when sweat, bacteria, and dead skin build up, it can lead to an odor that doesn't just disappear after a shower. The tricky part is that this area is often missed during cleaning, especially as mobility becomes more challenging with age. Take Max, for example. Max is 75 years old, and for a long time, he didn't realize that the smell he was experiencing came from his inner thigh creases. He thought he was just getting older, and maybe the body's natural scent was changing. But when his daughter noticed the smell, she pointed it out, and after taking a closer look, they discovered that he was skipping over these folds during his showers. The buildup of sweat, oils, and dead skin was causing the odor to stick around. The good news is, cleaning this area is pretty simple. Just use a mild soap and a soft washcloth, and gently clean the inner thigh crease. Be sure to dry the area completely after washing. Moisture left behind can make it worse. You could even apply a bit of talc-free powder to absorb any excess moisture if necessary. It's a small change, but it can make a world of difference in keeping you feeling fresh throughout the day. If you have difficulty reaching this area, ask a family member or caregiver to help with cleaning, or try using a long-handled shower brush to reach those places more easily. It's really important to make sure the area stays dry and clean, because that's how you prevent any odor from developing. It's easy to overlook these creases, but taking a moment to clean them properly will help you feel more confident and comfortable in your own skin. 2. Belly button and navel crease. Let's talk about a spot that's often overlooked, your belly button and the navel crease. It's one of those areas that we don't always think about when we shower, but trust me, it can become a hidden culprit when it comes to odor. As we age, our skin can lose some of its firmness, and that little crease in your belly button might just trap sweat, oil, lint, and dead skin, all of which can cause an odor if not cleaned properly. Emily, a 71-year-old woman, found this out the hard way. She had noticed a lingering smell, but she couldn't figure out where it was coming from. After trying everything she could think of, she realized that she hadn't been paying attention to her belly button. When she finally gave it a good clean, she was shocked by how much buildup was there. That small neglect turned into a bigger problem, and she felt embarrassed because she didn't know it was happening until it was pointed out. So, what's the best way to clean this area? It's simple. Just gently use your finger or a soft cloth to clean around your belly button. Don't be too rough with it. Your skin is delicate, especially as we age. Be sure to dry it properly afterward because moisture left behind can make things worse. If you're concerned about keeping the area dry, you can use a little talc-free powder to absorb any leftover moisture. Now, I know some of you might have mobility challenges and bending down to clean your belly button can be tricky. If that's the case, don't hesitate to ask a family member or caregiver for a little help. It doesn't have to be a big deal, and a small thing like this can make such a big difference in how fresh you feel. This one's easy to forget, but once you start cleaning your belly button properly, you'll notice how much better you feel. It's just another way to make sure you're taking care of yourself, and it doesn't take much effort at all. 3. Ear folds and behind the ears. Let's move on to another area that can easily be missed, behind your ears and the folds of your ears. It may seem like a small thing, but this spot can hold on to sweat, oil, and dead skin, creating an odor that's not only unpleasant but also easy to overlook. Especially if you wear hearing aids or glasses, this area can trap moisture even more, making it a breeding ground for bacteria. Take Jack, for example. He's a retired principal in his late 70s, and like many of us, he never really thought about cleaning behind his ears regularly. One day, during a routine doctor's visit, the nurse pointed out that there was an odor behind his ears. At first, Walter was embarrassed and confused. He hadn't noticed anything himself. But after he started paying attention to the area, he realized that it had been collecting sweat and moisture for a while, which had led to the smell. So how do we avoid this situation? The fix is simple. You can gently clean behind your ears using a soapy washcloth or even just your fingertips. Be careful not to scrub too hard. You don't want to irritate the skin. The key is making sure it's dried thoroughly after you wash it. When moisture stays behind, it can make everything worse. And here's a little extra tip. If you wear hearing aids or any jewelry around your ears, make sure you clean them too. They can trap moisture and bacteria, contributing to the problem. It's a small detail, but taking care of these little things can make a world of difference when it comes to how fresh you feel. If you've never thought about this spot before, it's time to start. It's a simple habit that takes only a minute, but it can make you feel so much cleaner and more confident. Don't let this sneaky area catch you off guard like it did for Walter. 4. Toenails and skin beneath. Now let's talk about your feet. We all know that our feet take a lot of pressure throughout the day, but they also need some extra care, especially when it comes to the area under your toenails and the skin beneath them. If this area isn't cleaned properly, it can quickly lead to unwanted odors and even fungal infections. Sweat, lint, and dead skin can accumulate there, which not only smells bad but can also cause skin issues like athlete's foot. Take Peter, for example. He's a senior man who, like many, didn't give his toenails much attention. Over time, he started noticing a persistent odor around his feet. It wasn't until his wife gently pointed out that his toenails were a bit neglected that he realized the source of the problem. Underneath his toenails, there was a buildup of dirt and moisture, which had created the perfect environment for bacteria and fungus to grow. So, how can we fix this? First, it's important to regularly clean the area beneath your toenails. A soft brush works best, and you can gently scrub the skin under the nails to remove any buildup. You should also make sure your feet are dried thoroughly afterward, especially between the toes. Moisture is the enemy here, so you want to keep everything as dry as possible. To prevent further issues, you can rotate your shoes, avoid wearing the same pair every day, and use foot powder to keep your feet dry throughout the day. Also, make sure you wash your socks with hot water to kill any bacteria or fungus that might be lingering. Little changes like this can go a long way in keeping your feet fresh and comfortable. Gerald learned that by simply paying attention to his toenails and foot hygiene, he could eliminate the odors that had been bothering him. It's a quick fix, but it's a game changer. Don't let this area be a source of frustration for you too. Regularly checking and cleaning your feet can help you feel more refreshed and confident. 5. Folds behind the knees. Let's move on to an often overlooked spot that can be tricky to clean, especially as we get older. The folds behind the knees. We don't usually think about these areas when we shower, but the truth is, they can trap moisture, soap residue, and bacteria, leading to unpleasant smells or even skin irritation if not properly cleaned. Take Clara, for example. She's a 76-year-old woman who, like many, found herself struggling with a mysterious odor. She couldn't figure out where it was coming from until she realized it was from the folds behind her knees. These folds tend to gather sweat, especially if you're sitting or lying down for long periods, which over time can cause a buildup of bacteria and lead to that distinct smell. And if you have any mobility issues, it can be even harder to reach and clean this area. So what's the solution? It's simple. Gently clean the back of your knees during your shower with a washcloth and some soap. Make sure you get into all the creases to remove any sweat or soap residue that may have built up. Afterward, pat the area dry thoroughly. Moisture can be a breeding ground for bacteria, so drying the area properly is key. If you find it difficult to reach behind your knees, don't hesitate to use a long-handled scrubber or ask for help from a loved one or caregiver. It's a small adjustment, but it can make a huge difference in how fresh you feel. If you're feeling self-conscious or unsure, remember that small changes in your hygiene routine can lead to big improvements in comfort and confidence. Keeping this area clean is a great way to feel more refreshed, especially during the warmer months when sweating is more common. Don't let something as simple as not cleaning behind your knees keep you from feeling your best. So, we've covered 5 important areas that many seniors often overlook when it comes to hygiene. The groin area and inner thigh creases, the belly button, behind the ears, toenails, and skin beneath, and, of course, the folds behind the knees. Each of these areas, while easy to forget, can be the source of odors that might be causing discomfort, embarrassment, or even skin problems. But don't worry, these issues are easily addressed with just a few adjustments to your daily routine. It's important to remember that as we age, our bodies go through changes. These changes can make it harder to clean some spots as thoroughly as we used to, but with a little extra care, you can avoid some of the discomforts that come with those neglected spots. A little extra time and attention to those hidden folds and creases can make a world of difference, not just for your body, but for your overall confidence and well-being. When we talk about hygiene, it's not just about smelling fresh, it's about dignity and feeling good in your own skin. Small things like cleaning behind the ears, drying the folds behind your knees, or taking a few extra moments to wash your belly button might seem like tiny steps, but they can have a big impact on how you feel throughout the day. And let's be real, we all deserve to feel clean, confident, and respected, no matter our age. It's easy to think that certain smells or hygiene issues are just part of getting older, but the truth is, a few small habits can really help in maintaining a fresh, clean feeling. So, don't shy away from checking in on these areas and giving them the attention they deserve. If you find it challenging to reach certain spots, there are tools and products out there that can help. Long-handled scrubbers, gentle cleansers, talc-free powders, these can all make things easier, especially if you have limited mobility. Remember, it's okay to ask for help from family, friends, or caregivers when needed. No one is judging you for taking that extra step to feel your best. Keep in mind that your hygiene routine doesn't need to be overwhelming. You don't need to tackle everything at once. Start small. Pick 1 or 2 of the areas we talked about today, and begin to work them into your routine. Once they become a habit, you'll feel more confident and fresher, and that's what matters most. I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you manage your hygiene routine? Have you noticed any areas that have been tricky to clean? Please feel free to comment below with your experiences or questions. Don't forget to like and share this video with someone who might benefit from this information. Together, we can help make sure everyone feels fresh, clean, and confident, no matter their age.